What's up? You're watching Poot's Garage. Wow, that was weird. What's up? You're watching Poot's Garage. This week we're working on Cheezburger, the Jeep XJ again. Let's get to it. So last week, well, I should say last video, we worked on the front suspension. We got those lower control arm brackets on, and let me just tell you, this thing has got much better control arm geometry now, just looking at it. So I left off with this spring, had a gnarly arc to it. There's a little bit still, but not as bad. So I went through this morning and I actually shortened up the upper control arms about 5/8 of an inch, and I should be sitting around 4.5 to 5 degrees of caster now, which is very good. Before I had almost zero caster, maybe half a degree. So we're sitting a lot better now. Our spring doesn't have a gnarly arc. We're hanging right now because we're on jack stands still. I did drive it around the neighborhood after last week because I just wanted to button things up and do a little test drive, and yeah, it worked good. I actually forgot that I had welded the rear diff on this. When I pulled it out of the garage and those tires were squealing and barking, I was like, oh wow, forgot about that. Okay, so the welded rear diff does work, I can tell you that much. It's pretty cool, I like it, it's fun. This week, we're gonna be installing this. This is a high steer kit from Maxpeedingrods. Weird brand. I don't know much about them. I've been on a budget kick on this thing. This whole build has been budget, so this is the brand here, Maxpeedingrods. They are actually the same brand. I did the drop brackets for the control arms. Everything seems decent. They are definitely an absolute clone of other companies. That's why they're cheap, but they're working. So this week I want to get that stock, real weak stock steering off, and then we can get this heavy duty. This stuff is actually really nice. Those rods are real heavy. Rod ends, they're fairly big. We'll have to see how well they hold up. It comes with hardware and everything, so I'm hoping it'll be easy. I don't know if I have to drill out these knuckles and stuff to get it to work. It looks like I do, because the bolts that come with it are so big, and I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. We got to drop this old stuff out and see what size those tapered holes are and see if this hardware goes. Hopefully this hardware bolts right through it and we don't have to do anything and make it quick and easy. So I don't know. We'll see. We're going to tear this thing apart and figure it out. Darn it. Just did a whole bunch and didn't record. So this is the stock stuff we are replacing. This is the stock style. It's got a tie rod that goes from this wheel up to the middle of that bar. And then from that wheel, the drag link goes up to the pitman arm. So we're going to get rid of that with a crossover steering, which is just a tie rod that goes from one wheel all the way to the next, and then off the pitman arm is going to be there up to the top of that wheel. So it's a little stronger, it's more off-road oriented. This is probably more streetable, a little better on the street, but I don't care about street use, so we're going all off-road. But my biggest reason for doing this is for strength, because that stock tie rod right there is extremely weak. I probably could have got away with just, maybe welding some more metal to it and making it bigger. I don't know. I could have done something, I'm sure, more budget friendly. But I don't know. I kind of want to do crossover just for fun, if anything. So we're going to do that. Taking this old stuff off is fairly easy. Cotter pins on each end. Take the nuts off. Smack it with a hammer. Smack it with a hammer. Get everything off there. I do have a steering stabilizer I got to disconnect. And I'm not sure if I have the hardware to put that back on the new setup or not. But we'll figure that out. So let's do it. Now that we got the steering off, the stock stuff, I kind of took some measurements, and of course, those holes aren't big enough on the knuckles for what we need to do. So these are the bolts. These are 5/8 bolts, and obviously they're not big enough. I'll give you a quick look here, I guess. So that's the top of the taper. Obviously it's going to be too small, and even the bottom side just barely catches, but yeah, it's too small. So we're going to drill that out to a straight hole. I'm never going to revert this thing back, so I'm not too worried about keeping any kind of factory stuff. But yeah, it's pretty much starting at a 5/8 hole in the bottom, and it's probably less than a 1/2 inch hole on top. So yeah, we got to drill out quite a bit. Unfortunately, I didn't have a drill bit, so I went out and bought one. That's a big old 5/8 drill. Man, drill bits get expensive when they get over 1/2 inch. Jesus. So hopefully this is the right one, because this is pretty much the only one they had in 5/8 or anything over 1/2 inch, which is black oxide Bosch. So it's supposed to work for everything, especially hammer drilling, but for metal and stuff, it's supposed to be good. So we're gonna find out. I'm gonna step it up a little bit with some other bits to kind of get it as close as I can, get up to 1/2 inch, and then we'll go from there. So, all right, this might be a painful one. Hopefully, I don't break my wrist using these giant drill bits. Okay, well, that's going surprisingly easy. So this one goes. Okay. Not too shabby. Okay. Go for it. Woo! It'll be fun. Okay. Can't even start it. Ay, ay, ay. Come on, we're almost there. I can see light at the bottom. All right. Well, that was painful. Not too bad. Much better. Now the fun one, pitman arm. Oof. Okay. That side, it sucks. I can't get to the top side. Instructions do recommend taking the pitman arm off, but I don't feel like it right now. Ooh, it's hot. Hot metal. He's going. Make sure I'm going straight. That's the problem. The hot shavings landing on my arm. Went through. Alright. Alright, we got them all drilled out. You can see there's still plenty of meat on that knuckle. He didn't really take that much out, so should be good to go. Same thing on the pitman arm, lots of meat left. Ain't too worried about strength, being the holes are so big, it's no big deal. So now that we got the holes all drilled out and this thing's ready to go, I kind of went online and I found some instructions just to figure out how to set up all these nuts and bolts and weird things. It looks like the tie rod itself, we don't use the alignment washers or the alignment, I don't know, bushings, which is kind of strange. I don't understand that entirely. I mean, it will keep the tie rod from twisting a little bit, so maybe that's why. But the drag link gets the alignment bushings, which is interesting. And then per the instructions, the kind of mix of washers they use here and there doesn't really make much sense. But I'm going to do it per the instructions, and we'll see how it comes out. And it should be good. And actually, I tried to measure, I should have measured before my toe, basically, my toe alignment. Not that I know that it was even correct on this or not, because my steering wheel was way off. That was just probably more of a drag link issue. But anyways, who knows what the alignment was like on this Jeep. It was probably all beat up. I mean, it's been rolled over and beat on, so who knows if it was anywhere being correct. But 52 1/4 is kind of the measurement that I got now, and so that's what the tie rod came as. So I don't know, it's kind of strange. So we're just gonna throw it in as is, and then the drag link is basically, I don't really know where to set that yet. It's gonna be kind of determined on where the wheels want to point, and we'll try to get the steering wheel straight. This all can be adjusted. It's gonna need adjustment later. I'm gonna do like a full like toe adjustment, tape measure deal. We'll get it all set up like perfect. But yeah, let's just throw this thing in. Are done. All right, we got the steering all done. I actually aligned everything. I did the toe adjustments and everything. The steering wheel is kind of straight right now. I won't know until I actually drive it on the steering wheel itself, but that's not really that big a deal if it's a little off. I don't care. But the toe adjustment should be good. It's towed in, I don't know, somewhere around 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch, so maybe a little on the excessive side, but it's good. Everything's tight, bolted up, and the steering is done, so that's awesome. It's very robust. I think I'm gonna break the axle before I break that steering. So I'm pretty much done, except I got one more little thing to do, which I'm not gonna bore you guys with. Over there on the ground, I got this brake line here, this rubber brake line. This is actually a longer brake line to replace this one on the driver's side. Once I zoom in here, and so, oh, Jesus. So this is the factory line here. It's just a little too short, which is why they've got the metal part disconnected up there. But this is a longer one. The previous owner already did the passenger side, which I think something went crazy wrong, which is why I have 2 brake lines running through the engine compartment for that side. But we'll swap this one out. We're not going to have any issues with this. We'll do this, and then I'm just going to do it off camera, and it'll be ready to rock. And at that point, we can go test this thing again. I got to throw the wheels on, and we'll get it back out in the desert there and try it out and see how everything works. This thing should drive a lot better.